How's it going? All right. Good, standing up. Sit down. Sit down. See if I'm funny. I've been inside for a year and a half, just like you. All right. It's nice to be out here in Denver, man. It's legal on a state level, but not on a federal level, man. Buddy out here dressing like they're fucking going hiking. Your North Face pajamas and all the shit you guys have. You guys all live inside. So, how have you guys been doing, man? How's your pandemic been? You enjoyed it? You been staying inside? Are you being safe? I am so fed up with this. I ain't being safe. I don't fucking believe in it. It's all a bunch of lies. We're just totally divided. The people that are like, you gotta get vaccinated, you have to wrap yourself in an Afghan, and you gotta cover your face and hold your breath when you look at pictures of people. And then you got the other side, I don't give a shit, I'm gonna have my balls out, walking down the street, because that's what Jesus said in John 13, I read it. In my Bible study class, I don't give a fuck. And if I get it, I'm going to the hospital and be like, all right, fix me. You were right. Everybody, all hypocritical, all the liberals, you gotta wear the mask, you gotta wear the mask. And half of them, when they talk, they're pulling it down. They have it under their fucking nose. Then the other assholes, they were all patriotic for years. America, love it or leave it. Support the truth. You know I can get the fuck out. America, love it or leave it. All right, take the vaccine. Well, I don't trust the government. Where the fuck did that come from? I thought you were all about it. I thought you were waving the flag and all of that shit. Listen, here's the deal. We're never going to solve this shit until we all get on the same page, which we know is never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So, we got to set up some Hunger Games shit to solve it. And whoever wins, wins. It's the non-vaxxers versus the vaxxers. So there's a giant field. And all the people who don't want to get the vaccine. All the fatties and the fucking lunatics, right? You got to fucking run the length of the field and try to make it to the other side while there's a helicopter flying over you and they're shooting the vaccine down at you. Right? Now I know what you think. Well, that ain't fair, man. I'm running in my shit kickers. You're up there in a helicopter. You got a gun. Well, here's how we eat. It's a liberal with the gun. Right? They're not good at that. Oh, my God, is it alive? Is it going to hit me? I don't feel safe. And by then, you're already halfway there when the straps of your overalls is off. If you make it to the other side, in the end, just like dodgeball, we'll see. We'll just score it. Who won? It's an idea. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I kind of quit. I got to be honest with you. For the first, year of this shit, I was an American, and I was rooting for everybody. And then, I don't know. They let us outside for a couple of weeks, and then they sent us back in. And I just didn't have it in me anymore. It's like, I don't care. I just don't give a shit. I hope a lot more people die. I really do. But the one good thing about this whole pandemic shit, and I really hope by the time this fucking thing comes out, that this will be considered old. I don't know. God willing. But the one great thing about this pandemic shit is it kind of slowed down a little bit of that cancel culture. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of hard to take your dick out at work when you're at home. Some people still manage to do it. They ordered some call, no pants on. All of a sudden standing up, their junk right in the screen. Still figured out a way to get fired. It was unreal. It's kind of good, though, that, those creeps got to take a break, because I felt like cancel culture, they were kind of running out of people to cancel. As much as they wanted to make it seem, there really was a finite amount of people that took their dick out at work. Despite the stats, right? Every 1.6 seconds, somebody takes their dick out and shakes it in a woman's face in a cubicle. You're like, what? Every 1.6 seconds? not been paying attention. Every 3.2 seconds, some man jizzes on a bird and rubs it in a woman's face. Holy shit! I didn't know that happened. Yeah, so fortunately, they rounded up all of these fucking animals and they got rid of them, right? But it kind of became like this cottage industry. And it was a way to kind of get rid of some men that maybe were in your way, you know? It's like anything. It always like, you know, the initial thing, you agree with it, and then it kind of gets out of control. So, I don't know. They kind of ran out of people. And there was this kind of hilarious moment, like last year, where they started to try and cancel, like, dead people. Remember that? All of a sudden, I don't know, where, like, John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what, they got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, there was all these stupid-ass woke white people, right? Oh, my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? There's a bunch of fucking white people all up in arms about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne, saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for black people. These fucking idiots. What kind of a fucking idiot white person refers to themselves as woke? You know, if you actually were socially conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. Once again, doing the Elvis thing, right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the fuck you say it, and some white person heard it like, oh, who is that? Oh my God. Stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends so they know that I'm down. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking say that. Fucking woke. I'm fucking woke. I'm a woke signaler. I fucking had it. I've had it. I support black people in my white apartment on Twitter. That's what I do. I'm fucking here for you. Every white person likes to lie to themselves that they were alive, you know, 150 years ago, that they would have been working on the Underground Railroad trying to help slaves escape, right? I would have been one of the good white people. I would have taken time out of my day.
When did you start shaving your head? It looks good.
When did I start shaving? Well, I shaved it. I had my first special. I had it shaved.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah.
When I saw you in New York
I'm
for the
glad,
Patrice
I'm glad
thing.
you liked it.
I
I see you losing the roof there in the back.
Yeah,
You'll be right there with me.
I'll be there
We'll do a buddy cop show.
Exactly.
Right? Two balding old guys
Exactly.
going after some hairy criminal.
I'm not a big fan of Steve Jobs, personally.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just don't understand what the big deal was with that guy. I don't get it.
He's like Edison. I don't know. He invented all this stuff that everybody. What are you talking about?
But did he? Did he sit down and like, I'm going to invent the iPhone and just sat there soldering, possibly welding, right? Didn't he have like a crew of guys helping him out?
Sure, maybe he did.
So why, when he went to those nerd fests, didn't he have like a chorus of scientists behind him who helped him out too? He walked out like he was Tesla. Like tapping into electricity.
I'm not with you.
I think he just kind of like told people what to invent. Like he just kind of came in like, I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert and he goes out there by himself. No belt, you know, sneakers on. I just didn't buy it.
When you took it out on Philly, because they were a bad crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Your famous rant,
Yep.
which you've since said you like Philadelphia, and that wasn't the issue. You were just giving...
People in Philly don't even remember. Basically, if you haven't seen it, I was doing a show for the Opie and Anthony radio program, and they had this show called The Traveling Virus, and we were doing these, like, 10,000 seaters, and we went to Philly, and they're notorious for booing people, and they booed the first guy off stage, and I went on, like, 3 hours after that. So by the time I got up there, it was a complete shit show. And... I don't know. They started booing, and I snapped and decided I wasn't going to leave, and I just attacked everything that they loved.
Can women be funny?
Yeah, of course. Will you guys just fucking grow up and just sit down and write your own horse shit and come up with it? Start your own fucking show. Have your own award show. Quit waiting around for other people to do shit for you. That's the fucking problem. If you guys had your own big club and I was standing outside of it, you'd never fucking let me in. I'd start my own shit. You guys got to start your own shit. You got brains in there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So write your own shit and quit your fucking whining. We're all eating a giant shit sandwich out here. Nobody cares. I don't care. Well, when was the last time you went on stage and you killed so hard the person after you bombed? If you're fucking doing that on a regular basis, people are gonna notice regardless of what you have between your legs.
Yeah, at some point I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie. Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm going to fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah,
And nothing's making you mad? Nothing.
Oh, things upset me. Yes. I don't know. I don't want to... Look, I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up, and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it, and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
I love this dude texting for the entire interview. It's just trying to keep the attentions of millennials. It's like impossible. Look at him. He's already got the chains. He's probably got his own record label. He's like making deals as we speak. He's got championship rings on. I don't know what you're doing, dude, but I want your life, man. You're crushing it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water, and they're immediately walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Oh, yeah, and there's a drop-off in fame for Jesus at that point. Everyone was paying attention. Now no one gives a shit. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
You see, Sugar Shane Mosley, one of the greatest boxers of all time, he's losing his championship belt in a divorce. Losing, yeah. It's like you're trying to break a man. Why does she want those? Right?
Gonna break a man.
They go with their shoes. You know? No, and I love how when you get a divorce, all of a sudden it costs like 50 grand a month to give a kid Fruit Loops. Right? These guys, I'm telling you, there is an epidemic of gold-digging whores in this country, and it is just not being addressed.
We recently got a pit bull, which I know a lot of people don't like because they ate a couple of kids. I understand. They're great dogs, unless you're a bad owner. If you're a psycho, which I am, you can mess them up. I didn't realize that dogs feed off your vibes. No. Like if you're cool, if you're chill, they're chilling. If you're sleeping, they're sleeping. But if you're a psycho like me, and you're watching the game on TV, and you're screaming at the ref like, you gotta be shitting me! I didn't realize the dog was in the corner being like, yeah, you gotta be shitting.
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The oil, the fucking, they drill oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. Out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg was
Deepwater Horizon, yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas.
So what's up with all these white kids now walking around trying to act like they're like gangster rappers? It's irritating. It's like everywhere I go, man, I figure just be here in the city where you got a good mix of people. You know, I'll be like in the middle of Kansas, though. Like the whitest state ever. There'll be some howdy-doody looking white kid like me. You know, I'm thinking this is one of my peeps. Somebody I can have a conversation with. All of a sudden she's like, yo, what's up, kid? What's up, kid? I just want to be like, nothing much, Brad. You know, you keeping it real in Wichita? How the fuck are you going to be a gangster in a state, say, like Nebraska? You know, wouldn't you be like all hardcore about your crop? Just in there, yo, shit was crazy, you know what I'm saying? My fucking corn wasn't growing, my fucking scarecrow was tipping over and shit, you know what I'm saying, son? I just want to be like, dude, you're white. Go to the Gap, give into it. Buy some Dockers, and come home. I've been going to gun stores, and
Oh, my God.
and these rednecks are all telling me the same thing, because I didn't grow up with guns. So they're just going, all right, you never had a gun, you want to get yourself a shotgun. It's got a great spread. That's what they keep saying. It's got a great spread. You don't even got to aim. You got a problem, you just sort of whip around. You get the guy, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, I just want to shoot the guy. I don't have to do like a bunch of drywall work and like reframe my diploma. So.
Again. Why can't Mom make dinner?
Ask her. She's the one who abandoned her post. Now after doing all the lady work, I gotta leave to go do some man work. And is anybody gonna get me flowers and tell me I'm beautiful? No. No one's out there marching for old Frank Murphy. He just watches the sands of his miserable life gather at his feet while his wife, the modern woman, throws on a pantsuit every morning and just... There's my worker bee.
What is your go-to dance move when challenged?
Waiting for the director to say cut.
That was my go-to dance move.
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw my kid, it wasn't, I didn't have like, everybody was like, you're going to burst out crying, you're going to blah, blah, blah. I was like scared of it. Like I was just sitting there like, hey, yeah, buddy, like I didn't want to touch it. And then like afterwards, they give it to me and I'm hanging with her for the first time and I'm feeling nothing. And I literally put my head down on the bassinet. I'm going, oh my God, I'm a serial killer. Like I don't feel things.
Fool yourself because I was like Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show last night? This is how like the millennials are, right? Somebody, I was wearing this exact same thing. You know, I'm on the road, so I got a nice stain on my shirt. So I was wearing this exact same thing. I go on Twitter, and somebody wrote, you know, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So like, yeah, I wrote back. I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
You so-and-so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?
You know, I've never been in a country where all of a sudden the most powerful army the world has ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. You know, she's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. You know, her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out, you know. And she's a woman. And women know, push comes to shove. When you get your back against the wall, no matter how bad it gets, they always have the option of fucking their way out of a situation. They always got that card they can play, right? All women know this. All women know this. Men don't realize this till they go to prison. But women learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think she made it. She's up there with Sean Connery. Every once in a while, they have a disagreement. He gives a little slap, you know? She doesn't care. Once you shit on a Nazi's chest, I mean, a little backhand's not going to freak you out. Jesus can't say anything. He got a hooker, right? Everybody's got a little something they did. Yeah, there you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was a victim. She was a victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway. So we're living in a fucking weird time. Obviously, beyond all the bullshit that's going on now, like every time I think feminism has kind of like died off, you know, like a band you can't stand, and they haven't put out an album in a few years. You're like, oh, good. Did they quit? Did they break up? And all of a sudden they come out with some more shit. You're like, ah, fuck. What is it now? I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me, you know. It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know, for the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? And I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's help to make it happen. I don't understand it. I don't understand why women just can't work with each other and make this shit happen. They keep coming to us like, you more men need to care about this issue. Where are the men to stand up and say something? Like, why do I have to fucking say something? This is your fucking problem. Why are you always dragging us into this shit? I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're going to come and you're going to get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job to give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude, look at the WNBA. Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going fucking nuts like the guys do. In the upper deck with their big beard titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? Am I doing it? Yeah. None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies, name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. Let's hear it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your fucking city. You can't do it. You don't give a fuck about them. They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a fucking tragedy, right? And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians, they're making billions. You look at those Real Housewives shows, they're making money hand over fist, because that's what women are watching. And the money listens. You don't want to watch this shit? You watch this shit? They just shoot it over there, drowning these whores. in money. In purses, in shoes, and Botox. It's just raining. It's raining money. Yeah. So, the money listens. You'd rather watch that shit. Real Housewives, bunch of women just tearing each other down. Well, maybe that's why your husband left you. Maybe that's why your husband left. That's why you can't have kids, bitch. That's why your ass is as flat as your titties, bitch, right? That's the message you sent. We would rather watch that than see a bunch of women come together as a team and try to achieve a common goal. We would rather watch them absolutely fucking destroy each other. Yeah. No. And then in the end, you come back and you fucking yell at guys. And it's like, all right, so let me get this straight. I have to buy you a drink, stop the axe murderer from coming through the fucking window, and I have to watch WNBA games for you? Like, when are you going to pick up your end of the couch? Yeah. I don't have any sympathy for women when it comes to shit like that, because every study they've ever done to determine who's smarter, men or women, every study comes back and says women are smarter. Every fucking one. Ladies, you shouldn't be applauding that. You know I'm an asshole. You know this isn't going to end well. Did he say I'm pretty? Oh my God. Get out of the relationship. If every study says that you're smarter, okay, the question you should be asking yourself was, we're so goddamn smart, how are we in the situation we're in? Well, you're in the situation you're in not because of guys like me, as much as you want to blame me. Ladies, you can't tell me you never drove by a sports bar on a football Sunday and looked at the humanity in there? All those dumb guys with their big beer bellies bumping shit. Hey, he's on my fantasy team! Up top, yeah! You want to get some more mozzarella sticks? Yeah. As a woman with your bigger brain, you never looked in there and thought to yourself, I'm fucking losing to that? I'm losing to that. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Oh my God, that's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. Oh my God, you're a goddess. You're gorgeous. You look great in that bikini. I would kill myself if I looked like that. Keep eating, keep eating. Lose a toe, you fat bitch. It's just, you saw an alcoholic where you'd be like, oh my God, look at you. You're face down, passed out. Your kids are crying. You're a hero. You're a god. Keep doing what you're doing. You'd be like, dude, you need to get your fucking shit together. Get off the sauce.
Listen to books on tape or anything like that?
No, I can't do that.
You can't listen to books on tape?
I've never tried. I just can't. What would annoy me listening to the person trying to make it sound interesting? With the inflection. With the inflections and the voice and stuff.
That would annoy you?
Yeah. Because I'm defensive. I'm like, this guy thinks I'm a fucking moron. Where it's just like, and then in 1862.
So funny.
Read it like a bailiff. Read it like a bailiff.
Like a bailiff.
Dude, I remember, I have that reference. And the bailiff read the thing. He said, the arresting officer asked the defendant where he was coming from, and he stated fucking Boston. And it was just like, that's what I said. That's not the way I said it. I was fucking wasted. He said, I was trying to remember. He said, where'd you come from? I was like, fucking Boston. And the guy goes, fucking Boston, huh? You want to get out of the car? And I was like, yeah, I wasn't a jerk. Funny, I was standing there. There was all like these people who mug people, and they were like laughing, like, oh, this guy's sticking it to the man, you know? So we pulled the defendant over. After repeatedly asking the defendant to stay in the car, he got out of the car, threw his keys at my feet, and repeatedly stated, lock me up, I'm fucked up. And this was funny. Do you remember the guy who was fucking, he would do his shot, and when anybody would puke, he would stand over in the corner and not face them. He was facing the corner, so we started calling him Blair Witch. Everybody got there. So I'm crying, laughing, and then gagging as I'm telling the story. She was like, where do they find these people? And then that just set me over the top. I was like, I don't know. Just crying, laughing. But God bless them.
The reason why that thing's screaming is because it's biting its back. Okay, that's enough. That
sounds like me trying to touch my toes every morning. All right, I'm going to let you introduce the next topic. I don't know where to go with that guy's fucking... Maybe you got eaten by a bear.
Like, if you get a hold of a regular neck, regular necks just comply. They just give in.
Can you please call your next special Regular Neck? I guarantee no one's going to try and accidentally take that title. Dude, I remember there was a fucking guy on the site. I swear to God, he wore the same fucking jeans every day with, like, no underwear, right? And it had a fucking giant... fucking hole right here on his thigh. So I'm fucking working in the house, and I just remember he stepped over something with his left leg, and the whole fucking hole moved right, just like flashed his fucking junk. I was just like, and I didn't know how to stand up to people, and plus I was the new guy on the thing, and I just wanted to be like, buddy, how about you put on some fucking boxers or something so I don't got to look at your fucking junk? First of all, he's walking around with like a goddamn nail gun. Not like boxers could stop that, but any extra layer of clothing that you could have. This guy's literally like his fucking shit, like an owl looking out of a tree. And yet it's burned into my head.
His dick.
I could pick his junk out of a lineup.
No. All those people are paying to be there. That guy is making...
I wonder if there's somebody out there scalping tickets.
And he does Vegas, too. He does the fucking T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
I want to see the show.
They got a giant picture of him up there.
Is his eyes open or no?
Smiling and shit. It's crazy. It's a lot of money that guy's making.
I used to say, he's so full of shit, he can't look at the crowd. That's why his eyes are... He's like, are they still here? Are they still believing this shit? Yeah, when you're lying, eye contact is the toughest fucking thing ever. But whatever, he's making people feel good. And he's making his fuck. He's in show business. I want to see the show though. The few times I did movies, everybody told me you just missed it. You fucking missed it. It all ended in 05, 06, and I started getting work in like fucking 09, 2010. They were like, oh my God, they'd fucking pay for John Travolta's jet fuel. He coming in his own fucking... to do like one of those Hogs movies, like riding on a motorcycle. He'd be, okay, you got to pay for my 747. They're like, oh, John, goes without saying. If somebody swipes your credit card number, that's their money. So then they call you up and they just go, hey, Joe, did you buy a ham hock in fucking Vancouver at a strip club? Why, no, I didn't. I was in Burbank. Good luck with that. Whatever.
Has anybody ever bought a ham hock in a strip club?
Dude, you've given me every piece of the fucking elk except that.
I've got some ham hock for you.
What do you fantasize about doing to him?
Oh, no, just running away. I don't want to hurt him. The guy's hurt by life. He's so damaged by life. I don't want to do anything to him. I just want to get the fuck away.
I always picture those people and I have a giant roll of duct tape. And I just put it on it's like a cartoon level speed. No, it's cartoon level. I just put it on their mouth and I go, and the last one, it comes up and over their head, and then it hangs down. The whole rest of the tape is hanging down over their head.
Awkwardly.
And then I just go back to eating or whatever, and they just sit there and slowly have to take it off. The only way I could get through that basketball guy is if I already told my wife that he did it and it annoyed me, and then what I would do is I would just be egging him on, going like, so why doesn't he play him? and just keep going, and then she would start kicking me under the table because she would start laughing.
Hi everyone, I'm Ivanka Trump. She looks like Tracy Lord's sister in the 80s.
He's got good-looking kids.
He does.
He does.
Amazing.
She's good-looking, too.
She's amazing.
Hey, good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. And if Bill Clinton wants to vaguely look in the direction of a beautiful woman.
Well, this is what my girlfriend did one night when I was driving home. This is how much they manipulate, or as I call it, lie, to get what they want. I was driving home, and I was looking at there was this diner. And I was driving home, and it was late at night. I was like, hey, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get one of those milkshakes. And you were just like, oh, my God.
I hate when you do that generic female voice.
Fuck you. It's hilarious. Let's not forget, at the end of the day, my job is to make those people laugh. Okay, Nia? You don't understand. These people work hard all week. These were Americans. They need to come out and forget about their problems. No, whatever. I don't have, what am I, Mel Blanc? I got one fucking voice. I do. Nice reference. Yeah, I watch cartoons. Really? Is that all it takes to impress you on a first date? That's how you ended up with me. He knows who does the voice of Bugs Bunny. This guy's a keeper. I think this guy will be able to provide.
Have you ever told that story?
What?
The first night that we ever hung out.
When I hooked up? We'll save that for another one. Okay. But you gotta tell me, huh? You had to be impressed with my skills.
Yeah. Well, yes.
You see that? They just won't give it up. This guy was fucking cock blocking me on an Olympic level. He saw I was going to hook up. He actually tried to split a cab with you.
Yeah, I know.
On the way home, and I got around that.
Yeah.
Got around that. What happened? I fucking put the cards. I went all in, just like World Series of Poker. I went all fucking in. She was trying to be all coy with the little Sammy Davis Jr. hat on. Trying to play all hard to get. Huh? Thinking you were dealing with the sophomore in fucking college? Like I didn't have any fucking lines?
All right.
Yeah. When that douchebag kept coming over, cock blocking me, he invited, we were all set. I was hanging out. I'm going to tell her right now. We were hanging out, right? Me and this other dude. And all of a sudden, Nia shows up, right? And I can see the vibe. I see the look on her face. I know she wants it. No. I just,
And we had met before.
Shut up. You look great. You came up, you had a nice big smile, and you're being flirtatious, and I immediately liked you, right? So you went to the bathroom. You're with a friend. I'm with a friend. Every guy knows what you're supposed to do. Take that fucking battle axe out of the picture. Okay? Take one for the team. I can't remember who the fuck you're with, so if it's one of your friends, I apologize.
Yeah, not a battle axe.
Whatever. All right. A war memorial. So... What is this fucking... He goes the opposite route. I said, you went to the bathroom. I said, listen, I'm really doing well with this girl, all right? So, dude, I had to like... He was like a chick.
Be your wingman is what
No, I had to be like, so if I'm not paying attention to you, don't get upset. This is how, like, female this dude was, right? So I fucking... This is what he ends up doing, okay? The fucking guy ends up... As we're going to leave, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to try to peel off with your girl who's not a battle axe. And he just goes, he invites another dude over and goes, hey, you guys all want to get something to eat? Remember?
Yeah.
Remember? And he invited us over. Now we're sitting there. It's me, you, your not so battle axe friends, and 3 other fucking cocks are sitting there. And I'm trying to hit on you.
Yeah.
And he keeps jumping in. And then he goes, hey, Nia, where do you live? Oh, I live up that way. You want to split a cab?
Right.
Remember that?
I do. And I had to be like, no.
No, you didn't. It was over at that point. I made the move. Remember that? I said, are you at least... But before he fucking said that shit, he was doing everything. I remember I didn't have any cash, and I pulled out my credit card. I said, you guys just give me the cash or just put it on my credit card. And he goes, oh, he's just trying to get the miles. Remember that? Anything he'd do to make me look like a shithead.
I paid for the whole thing. I thought you were like, bam, I'm paying for the whole meal.
No,
everyone gave
No, they gave me money because I didn't have any cash.
You paid for mine.
This is how I got you. Which you was sitting there, and I said, look, are we at least going to be able to split a cab? Because I wanted to go over and have a drink with you.
Right.
And I was like, at least be able to split a cab. And then you're like, why? Why do you want to split a cab? Just putting up the roadblock? And that's when I went all in. I said, because I want to kiss you. Bam. Right.
Yeah.
And then that was it. I didn't fucking talk to you after that. Yeah, you sat there with that little stunned look on your face. Then what happened? Then we walked outside.
Really,
then we walked out. That was the shit. That was one of the greatest. I used to, the fucking guys like that used to always get me. I fucking nailed that. Stuck the landing. Like a male Mary Lou Retton. And you know what the best part was? Then I stood up. And at that point I was like, fuck it. I said what I wanted to do. All this shit is in. I don't need to talk to her anymore. And I sort of peeled off. Right? And then everybody got up to leave, and then you kind of tugged me on the shoulder, said, "Don't worry." You said, like, "Don't worry, we're gonna split a cab uptown." And then I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be great," because now I'm in, and now I'm gonna get to watch that little fucking cock block get his balls knocked on the fucking sidewalk, and that's what happened. He came out, right? He clapped his hands. Remember that? Came out just like this. And he was just like, "So, you guys ready to go?" Yeah. And you were like, "Yeah, actually, we're taking a cab." And he was so in cock block mode, he still didn't know. He's like, "No, I live right near you." Yeah. And you were like, "Listen, we're taking a cab, and we're going uptown." And you leaned over and you said it, and then that's when he realized that everyone realized he was a cock blocking douche. And then what did he do? He goes, "Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah." And he just fucking peeled off. Yeah. Huh? Then what happened?
We can't talk about that.
My other fucking classic line? Boy, I fucking reeled you in was a masterpiece. Fucking masterpiece. Then we got in the cab, and you said, I thought you were going to kiss me. And we fucking driving like a maniac, and I go, "I can't. The cab's jumping around too much." I go, "I'll kiss you at the first red light."
You're just really trying to, like,
right?
drag it out. You were trying to make this whole, like...
I was fucking seducing you, and it worked. Right? Then we hit the fucking red light. Yeah. I put one on you. You did. Bam. Right? Mm-hmm. Couldn't feel your fucking feet. I'm going to make this story last 9 hours long. And then you know what happened? Then I sat back and I was playing Mr. fucking Cool again like I'm fucking Walt Frazier in 1972. Oh, the callback to the Knicks from an hour ago, right? Then what happened? We stopped again, and I'm sitting there looking out the window, and you go, "It's another red light," right? And then we heard that cheesy saxophone from every fucking sexy movie in the 80s. Right? And then you were going, "I'm not going home with you. I'm not going home with you." Now, whenever they say that, guys, you know they're not going home with you. You know that shit. So what you have to do is you have to constantly make them feel like it's safe and they're in control. So before you said you weren't going home with me, I felt your vibe. I knew the deal. So I just said, "Listen, I know we're not going home together, but I'm really having a good time with you. I'd like to have another drink with you. All right? I know a nice bar. Ba, 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 and bam." Right?
And I did not go home with
You didn't go home with me. We had like fucking 8 more drinks and made out for like the next 5 hours in that fucking Hell's Kitchen bar. Had a great time. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So there's a little story, people. There's your little back.
Evidently what happened was, in World War II, old Adolf came rolling into town, okay, with his tanks with the Porsche engines in them, took over the town in like fucking 90 minutes. She freaked out. She closes up her shop, right? Figured out where all the head Nazis were staying, what hotel. She moved in there, and she started a relationship with one of the Nazis. Yeah, she started fucking a Nazi. You ever see those Holocaust videos? Huh, with those piles of kid shoes? Yeah, she was sucking the dick that did that. Now, just to refresh my memory, what did Sean Connery do again? Oh, you know, every once in a while you give him a little slap. That's what he did. She's sitting there like, "Hey, Adolf, what's going on?" She's so sold out her own country, she had to flee it at the end of the war. And I have no idea how many dicks she had to suck to get back in it. But I'll tell you, despite all of that, I still don't judge her. I don't. Because I've never been in that situation. You know, I've never been in a country where all of a sudden the most powerful army the world has ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. You know, she's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. You know, her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out. You know. And she's a woman. And women know, push comes to shove. When you get your back against the wall, no matter how bad it gets, they always have the option of fucking their way out of a situation. They always got that card they can play, right? All women know this. All women know this. Men don't realize this till they go to prison. But women learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think she made it. She's up there with Sean Connery. Every once in a while they have a disagreement. He gets a little slap, you know? She doesn't care. Once you shit on a Nazi's chest, I mean, a little backhand's not going to freak you out. Jesus can't say anything. He got a hooker, right? Everybody's got a little something they did. There you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was a victim. She was a victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway. So, we're living in a fucking weird time. Obviously, beyond all the bullshit that's going on now. Like, every time I think feminism has kind of like died off, you know? You know, like a band you can't stand, and you just, they haven't put out an album in a few years. You're like, oh, good. Did they quit? Did they break up? And all of a sudden they come out with some more shit. You're like, oh, fuck, what is it now? I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me, you know? It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know, for the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? And I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? You know why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's help to make it happen. I don't understand it. I don't understand why women just can't work with each other and make this shit happen. They keep coming to us like, you more men need to care about this issue. Where are the men to stand up and say something? Like, why do I have to fucking say something? This is your fucking problem. Why are you always dragging us into this shit? I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand, how come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm not saying no professional female athletes, Serena Williams, the women in the UFC, you know, but nobody's watching your fucking sport. And then you're going to come and you're going to get mad at fucking men. They keep doing that shit. Why are you yelling at us? It's not our fucking job. It's not my fucking job to give a fuck about women's soccer, okay? I have men's sport to pay attention to. It's your bullshit, right? Dude, look at the WNBA. Dude, nobody in the WNBA got COVID. Nobody. They have been playing in front of 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going fucking nuts like the guys do in the upper deck with their big beard titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? Am I doing it? Yeah. You did. None of you went to the fucking games. None of you. You failed them. Not me. Not men. Women failed the WNBA. Ladies. Name your top 5 all-time WNBA players of all time. Come on. That's it. Name 5 WNBA teams. Name the WNBA team in your fucking city. You can't do it. You don't give a fuck about them. They play night in and night out in front of nobody. It's a fucking tragedy. Right? And then meanwhile, you look at the Kardashians. They're making billions. You look at those Real Housewives shows, they're making money hand over fist because that's what women are watching. And the money listens. You don't want to watch this shit? You watch this shit? They just shoot it over there, drowning these whores in money. When I was wearing the whole fireman getup and they put the fake dirt on my face, I looked like I had been fighting fires for 20 years, right? However, the second I took off the costume and they cleaned off my face and I put on my regular clothes, I immediately just looked like some sad old queen that never found love, right? And as luck would have it, I was in New York City in June, which I quickly found out was Gay Pride Month. The whole month. And let me tell you something, the gay guys show up strong. It is wall to wall. The fucking island is almost tipping over. There's so many of them. And I'm sitting there like going, oh my God, 30 days of this shit. I'm walking around with this orange Freddie Mercury fucking dick broom on my face. I am going to be getting harassed up and down the street. I was in actor shape, man. I was fucking shredded. I got to tell you something, man. When I tell you 30 days of June, not one gay guy even fucking looked at me. Forget about even hit on me. I have never felt so old and undesirable in my life. Dude, I'm going to tell you something. It's this one thing as a man, when you get so old that women don't look at you anymore, like you know you're going to hit that age. You know that day's coming, but nobody tells you at some point you're going to get so old, not even a man wants to fuck you, right? Dude, that is a statement. When you get so old, some queen in his 60s is like, keep it moving. I can do better than that. Jesus Christ. Get some fucking hair plugs or something. Get a spray tan. I can get some in its 40s. Come on. Keep going. Dude, it was like, I was like having like this fucking panic attack. I was thinking like, oh my God, I waited too long to get married. I had kids too late. I'm going to die soon. I was like literally like wrapping up my life, you know? So I'm walking down like 9th Avenue, you know, putting a little swish in my fucking step, just trying to get something. I was desperate. Fuck you, ladies. You've been there. You know how it is. You want to think you got one more in you, you know? So I'm tra-la-la down the street. I really wish that wasn't the truth. So I'm going down 9th Avenue, and all of a sudden I looked up, and about 2 blocks away, all of a sudden I see this lesbian coming up the block, okay? Now, I know this is Boulder, Colorado, right? So you guys are all like, fucking, hey, man, you know? Like, how did you, like, know she was a lesbian, man? Like, that's not cool. You just looked at her and you just knew she was a lesbian? You don't know her. How do you just know somebody's a lesbian? Easy. The same way you do. The same way other lesbians do. It's not calculus. No, but I get it. I understand in 2021 you're not allowed to say you know what a lesbian looks like, right? Judging by your silence, yes, right? Yeah, you're not allowed, right? But what's funny, if some white kid came in here like 20 years old, hair slicked back, collar popped, loafers, no socks, you'd be looking at him thinking like, all right, frat boy, date rapist, his dad's a judge, he's not going to jail. Yeah, just killed 5 people in a drinking and driving accident, already has a new Dodge Challenger on the way, right? Yeah, you're allowed to see that. That you can see, clear as day. Lesbian, I don't know. No, but that's how progressive you guys are, right? You don't have any idea, right? Like, let's play a game. I'll just name different people you see and see the slides that come into your head, right? Construction worker, sports fan, painter, skateboarder, lesbian. Right? It all goes blank. Is that a lesbian? Am I I mean, I have gay friends, but I've never noticed any sort of a through line. Listen, people, I'm not saying all lesbians look alike. I would never say some ignorant shit like that. However, I am saying, though, every once in a while, there's a fucking layup. Right? Flat top, wallet chain, fucking walking up the street. Right? But even then, I'm not saying 100%. But gun to my head, I gotta go lesbian. Gotta go lesbian. Final answer, show me lesbian. Right? So, anyway, she's fucking walking up the street. I'm coming down, right? And it's clear to me that if we keep walking the way we're walking, we're going to bump into each other. Now, I don't want to bump into a woman. I don't want to bump into anybody in New York. So I do the gentlemanly thing. I clock what's going on. So what I do is I just gradually shift over into my own lane. Now everything's fine, right? But then the weirdest thing happened. We walk like another 30 yards, and all of a sudden, she drifts back into my lane again. And I'm sitting there walking like, wow, that's kind of crazy. Thought I skipped this bump. All right, so I fucking dip into another lane again, right? Okay, I'm walking. We go another 30 yards. She comes back into my lane again. So now, like, I'm up against the curb. So now I'm like thinking, like, okay, how do I do the politically correct math here? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Am I supposed to, like, am I supposed to step off into the bike lane? And have some young kid on his electric bicycle come by, 40 miles an hour, run me over. I go down to the pavement, knees and elbows. And for the rest of my life, every time it rains, I got to think about this lesbian that walked me off the fucking block? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to give up the whole sidewalk? Like, oh, you're gayness? Right? Or do I stiffen up my shoulder and protect my leg? Right? Now, I'm not proud of this, but I chose the latter. All right? I was like, look, I'm 53. I moved twice. I have an AARP card. I'm the fucking victim here. So I stiffen up the shoulder, and then immediately I'm thinking, like, okay, this is going to get crazy. I have never done this with a female before. This is in public. People are going to see this shit. What's going to happen, right? But I'm not going to lie to you. She started closing in. She was moving. So I, like, leaned in. Like, I really got my legs underneath me because she was built like a janitor, and I was not going to get spun around. I wasn't getting spun around, not having that on the fucking logbook, right? So I leaned into this shit, and at the last second, she turned her shoulder, and we just missed shoulders, but our forearms still slapped together with significant enough force that it warranted a turnaround. Okay? Now, I know most of you guys drive, so I will break down pedestrian etiquette really quickly in New York City. This is the deal. If you're walking down the street in New York, right? You're walking, and if you just sort of brush sleeves with somebody, you don't have to stop. You can just look over your shoulder. Hey, sorry, man. My bad. Have a nice day, right? Then this is the next level. Moves up a little bit. You're walking down the street. You actually bump into somebody. You actually have to turn around. Sorry, didn't see you. Little dojo bow. My bad. Whatever you have to do, my sensei, to keep it from escalating.
So anyways, I'm a married man with a kid. Happily married man. Yes, I am. I love my wife to death. I love everything about being fucking married. But I'll tell you this right now. We do fight a lot. We do argue all the time. If I've learned anything in 5 years of being married is we're always working on me. You know? Evidently, my wife is this completed work under museum glass that is to be admired and studied. Like, how did she do that? And I'm like one of these guys, you know those buildings that just has scaffolding around it for like 6 straight years? And you're like, are they ever gonna finish that thing? Is that some sort of insurance shop? Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit. You should just tear it down and start over again. Yeah. I have a temper. So that's the thing. That's what kind of ruins things. Everything else I do is fine, but I have a fucking temper, and it just ruins shit. And then my wife always says the same thing. She's always just like, I just don't understand. Where did that come from? Where is that coming from? It's you just go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. It's like, first of all, I idle at 75 miles an hour. All right? So don't give me this 0 to 100. I walked into this restaurant at 75. I could hear that guy talking too loud on his cell phone from the fucking parking lot. Yeah, I fucking tried all of this shit, you know. Whenever she says that to me, though, I swear to God, I just don't understand. Where is this coming from? It actually hurts my feelings when she says that, you know? Because it makes me feel like she's not listening to me. It's like, honey, how many childhood stories do I have to tell you before you follow the breadcrumbs to the absolute lunatic that you married? Didn't you ever take a psychology class? I'm not that complex. Like, I'll tell you guys a quick childhood story. I'll tell you one of the funnier ones, right? One time, when I was like 6, my older brother was 8. We were in the back seat of my dad's car, and we were like laughing, and we were excited because it was around Christmas, right? And my dad just had this thing. He just didn't like joy, you know? So he's sitting there driving, he's going like, Jesus Christ, knock it off back there! Christ, you're giggling like a couple little schoolgirls! Christ, you don't straighten up, I'm gonna buy you a doll for Christmas! And then he did. I swear to God, he made us hold him up. My mother's taking pictures in front of the Christmas tree. I'm just standing there like, hey, hey. Afterwards, I ran upstairs to my top bunk. My dad knew he fucked up, to his credit. He came up, he tried to smooth it over. He's like, all right, come on back down. It's over. Come on down, enjoy the holiday. And I'm like, no, I don't want to eat this. I fucking hate you. Right? He eventually coaxed me down, you know. He softened up a little bit. Look, you don't get your fucking ass back downstairs. No one else can open that gift. I'm moving out. I said moving out. I go back downstairs all shell-shocked. Here's another gift for you, Billy. I'm like, is this a fucking dollhouse? When does it end? Yeah, that was Christmas, and those were people that loved me. I just don't understand, where is this coming from? I just don't understand. So, I gotta do it though. I gotta work on the temper. I'm gonna do it. You know, I got the kid now, and I don't want to pass it on to her. You know, I have like a demon in my family tree, like this fucking rage. It's just, you know, just keeps following us, and now I got it. I have it so bad, like literally my daughter, she's a little over 2 years old. She's yet to meet me yet. You know? Like the real me. She's seen glimpses of me. I come, hey, how are you? She's seen glimpses of the anger, but I'm able to smooth it over really quickly. Like, whoa, Daddy almost snapped his phone in half. But I see it in her face. I can see the way she looks at me. She's starting to put it together like, this dude's a little fucked up, man. This is a little fucked up. I cannot tell you how heartbreaking that is to see from a top. Angry kid just walking around fucking kicking toys, fucking bullshit, just being like a lunatic. I want to be like that priest in The Exorcist when the devil got in him and he just fucking leaps out the window and dies, you know? So I've been fucking trying everything, you know? I tried, you know, I don't know, I meditating, wearing sweaters. I did that for a while. Like if I dressed like a regular guy, I'd be one. I drew a smiley face on a Post-it and stuck it on my dashboard. Like that was gonna help with my road rage. You know, driving down the street like, you motherfucker! I guess I've done that too. Thank you, smiley face. I remember one night I actually considered taking a bath because I was gonna call my wife. I was on the road and I was like, I don't want to have a fight with her. I need to relax. What the fuck can I do? And I thought about it. It's like women take baths, right? They do. It's a very feminine thing. They have a bad week. I just want to decompress and they just have a soak. And then they're just fine. Next thing you know, they're drinking wine. They're calling friends. I'm so glad you're in my life. And I feel I can get back out there again, right? So I'm literally alone. I start drawing a bath and the water came all the way up. And at the end of the day, I couldn't fucking do it. There's just no way as a man to take a bath and not think about killing yourself, you know? There's just something about slipping into that coffin-shaped thing. It's like, am I gonna slit my wrists? Am I testifying against the mob? What the fuck am I doing here? I'm a man, I don't take a bath. You take a shower, hose it off, block out your feelings, keep walking till you drop of a heart attack. Literally, as you're going down, are you okay? I'm fine, I'm fine. Can't take a bath, sitting there playing with a rubber ducky, sticking my toe in the faucet, right? Not allowed. Not allowed to be that happy. So, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go back to therapy, do that fucking bullshit again. Fast forward through all these stories I've told a million times. I gotta do it though. I'm gonna do it for my kid and do it for my wife. And selfishly, do it for me. Because, now, I'm gonna tell you why. You're not gonna like the results, miss. This is why I'm gonna do it, because if I actually don't have a temper, like, I just think to myself, like, what could my wife complain to me? Like, what could my wife bitch at me about, right? I fucking crush everything. I do, I take out the trash. Okay, the gate was squeaky the other day, I didn't make sure that was done, you know? I pick up after myself, I like to think I'm a good dad. I work my ass off, I make a great fucking living. Crush all of that. All she has on me is who I am as a person. That's it. Yeah, if I could just not be who I was when she met me, I think I'd have a shot, you know? So we figured out the number one thing we fight about is television, you know? I watch sports, she watches those Real Housewives, you know, it just doesn't work out, you know? You guys have the Real Housewives out here? You do? Yeah. It's just, I imagine it's just the most depressing fucking thing ever. Those women, they just look so fucking exhausted. You know what I mean? They just put the war paint and the circle tits, just trying to fucking tuck it in and fucking, like an athlete at the end of their career, just trying to limp out on the field one more time. They're not as fast as they used to be. It reminds you of your own mortality. It's just like, ladies, just fucking sit down. Put on something flowing. I'll put on a sport coat. We'll be in bed by 8:30, right? We're fucking old, you know? So we realized that, I don't know, we always fight about the television. So I'm like, well, what about documentaries? Why don't we just tape something we both like? We both love documentaries. They're fun, right? You watch them, you learn something, you repeat it at a party. People think you read.